Welcome back to another Gamer Girl podcast. Let me just check my YouTube to see if I'm actually live right now. Rivals alone again. Let's check, guys. Oh my god.
Up and rolling.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Oh my god. Okay, so breaking and be silent. Okay. 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 Okay, fucking bitch. Taxpayer Pusley. Love that, actually. You can have it. Taxpayer Pussy, you can have it. Team composition seems alright. You know, if she's choosing Psylocke, then she's gotta be good. And if they're choosing...
30 seconds before you attack.
Well, why Rocket as a healer? Like, why the worst healer? Like, oh god, but we have...
Well, thanks, kid. Good to know my tech.
How do you emote? Because I don't even know.
Yeah, okay, you know what? How about we focus
What's
on
this? Oh, I emoted! Look! What is this?
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's cool. You guys. Oh, shit.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Finally, I landed a hit. Alright, chat. We gotta log in because I'm getting MVP. Like, on God.
That one hurts.
What are these weird keyhole things anyway?
Alright, guys, just wait for me to lock in.
A disappearing.
Someone scratch my back. I'll patch you up.
Alright. I just don't like Scarlet Witch. Like, I like Psylocke a lot. I would say.
A strange mystical object.
Oh my god! Oh my god. I don't know why I'm doing so fucking bad. It's hard for me to see.
My work here is not done.
Alcohol has sort of blinded me.
I don't think that's the welcoming.
But that's not an excuse. I need to lock in. Look, my team's doing good. Ow. Okay.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Of course Psylocke died. That's what you deserve, fucking ass bitch.
Mysticism was no match
Like,
for mine.
literally forcing me to be Scarlet Witch. Yeah, me a faggot. Can I say that word? Will I get banned? Nobody report me, I'm actually gay. Oh! That girl's a fucking faggot. I hate Scarlet Witch.
The vehicle reached its
Get on me.
Keep up the momentum.
Get on me, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
KO.
You want some too? Oh, okay. You don't want the smoke. You can't handle the fucking smoke, bruh.
Guys are about to shoot at us.
I thank God my mom thinks I'm just on call with people and I'm just talking to myself. No, but guys, I have fans. Like, literally, when my boyfriend watches this, he's gonna be like, wow, Makeda, you're such a fucking good Scarlet Witch. Yes! I am such a good Scarlet Witch, ho. Watch this shit. I'm not giving you a break! Oh, you want a break? Please don't kill me. Yeah. Oh, my boyfriend's calling me.
You're halfway there.
Boyfriend! I'm playing Marvel Rivals, and I'm streaming right now, too, with my mic on.
No.
And people are watching. I mean, I don't know if people are watching, but they probably are. Do you know why?
What?
Because I added a tag to my live stream. Do you know what the tag is?
Put on a show.
Gamer Girl. Yeah, I know. That'll bring the buzz in.
I won't make the same mistakes again.
Someone stole Psylocke from me though. But I'm not ace, but I have the most kills. by far.
What do I hit next? I'm taking requests.
Scarlet. I'm playing Scarlet Witch right now because someone took Psylocke.
Is that vehicle moving again?
You are?
I have three characters that I alternate between. Psylocke. No, 4 characters. Sometimes I choose what's her name? I choose Cloak and Dagger. Sometimes, but I don't like Cloak and Dagger. I'm not very good with her. But it's only just Scarlet Witch or Psylocke, and if someone took both of them, then I choose Venom, and I'm just ass with Venom. I need to diversify my characters, I think.
You need to learn 1 tank, 1 healer, 1 DPS. I'm not very good with any tanks, so I'm okay with bonus there.
Hitch! Oh! We got 3 fucking people.
Have you been playing Marvel Rivals literally all day?
All fucking week.
It was going out before I
My
get
fate isn't sealed yet.
What are you eating?
Food.
What are you eating?
I'm eating food.
What?
Yogurt and strawberries.
Fire.
Nothing like
Are you
seeing how
proud?
they perform live.
My mic is on, by the way. So that way, if we look back at our live streams, then we can see how funny I am.
Really?
Yeah. I am pretty funny.
Yeah, okay. What should I bring with me? Okay, I have all my clothes in my bag. What else do I need to
I
bring?
just sold so hard.
Keep up the momentum.
What else are you bringing, Sal?
A nice little chaos. I am ready to put on a show.
Chargers. And then like deodorant and
Dude, we're getting pushed so hard. It's because our Psylocke is ass, that's why. Someone stole Psylocke from me, and that's why I'm forced to play Scarlet Witch.
and then I'll bring my charger as well.
That vehicle isn't going to escort
And then I
itself
should be
now.
good.
Us against the world. It's not a disappearing.
Come here, bitch. Come here, bitch.
Disappear.
Enjoy the amplifier. Executioner.
Way down. Oh,
Yes!
Double kill.
Triple. That's 3.
Those guys are about to shoot at us.
Watch me. Neutralize me.
You think I'd forget about you? You thought I'd forget about you, Ho? Yeah. 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 You know, my mom was watching me play Marvel Rivals, and she was like, why do you do that thing with your mouth?
I'm not the only one that does.
Oh my god, hey! But, are you busy April 19th?
No.
Do you want to work at my mom's job with me? We could, are you listening? Wait. Okay. Wait 1 second. Sorry, let me die first. Because I'm actually locked the, okay, I died. April 19th, my mom's club is having,
Another one go.
So close. From the chaos. This is your big chance. Down to 30 seconds. I am ready to put on a show.
Enjoy the amplifier.
The final 10 seconds.
I won't keep moving. The gods will not stay patient for long. Step aside.
The current score is 2-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world. But it does help.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
I may be powered by chaos, but I'm trying to bring a bit of order to the universe.
3, 2, stop!
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
That's some nice armor you got there, sweetheart. How much you want for it?
Ma, Rocket, you know Spider isn't for sale.
How about just one arm? No? Ah, come on! You're killing me, kid.
Not yet, but I'd be careful if I were you. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You need to stop that vehicle. This isn't my first trip through the multiverse, you know.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Strange little monsters. Be right there.
Bitch! Bitch, come here, come here.
Ah, that's better.
Are we serious right now? Are we serious right now? Sal, what are you doing?
Everybody needs
Or
So we can stay on call while you work? I won't talk to you anymore, okay?
Born from the chaos.
okay.
I miss when we used to just talk, when we used to just stay on call while we did other things.
Yeah, you're just too much of a distraction, TBH. I like talking to you so much.
Damn it. I hope our team doesn't lose.
It's okay.
So weak.
Fuck, bro.
My work here is not done.
I'm Ace!
Really?
I'm Ace with Scarlet Witch.
This is
No way.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Enjoy the amplifier! Those guys are about to shoot.
Damn it. Who calling my phone? Who calling that shit? Who calling my phone? Who calling that shit? Where the fuck the phone shine?
My work here is not done.
Where's the phone shine? That is the dumbest song ever.
Where the fuck function?
Drake is so, like, I hate Drake.
Oh god, Drake is a monkey.
Destructive power.
My ult is ready.
The time has
Just to tell everybody. Just to tell everybody, so it'd be nice if I got heals.
Stop them! Better stop that vehicle!
Fuck you! Who calling my phone? Who calling that shit? Who calling my phone? Who calling that shit?
I won't make the same mistakes again.
There's still a chance to stop them!
Never miss!
You know, Sal, can I say one last thing to you before I let you leave?
Sure.
I was on the phone with Cole and Kaylin because I was gonna ask them if I should ask you. Or I was gonna ask them if I should ask you.
My work here is
They hit a checkpoint!
And then Kaylin was like, girl, just do it and don't tell him. And Cole was like, You don't know Makeda. She's going to tell him.
It's funny.
Right? And I was just like, Cole, you know me so fucking well. I can't believe I have a friend like her. Like, I'm actually... Like, someone, like, a girl who just... She doesn't... Like, I don't give her anything, you know? She just loves me so much for me.
Yeah.
I've never had a friend like that before. Ever.
Yeah, Cole is like, dude, Cole is such a good friend. I'm telling you that,
It's now or never. Stop
I would do anything for her. Like, and it's not that she's a good friend. I just think we have a really good relationship because I would do anything for her, and I know in my heart that she would do anything for me too. Like, there is no doubt in my mind. Like, I just trust her with all my heart. Unless she understands the real me. Because if she meets the real me, then she wouldn't like me anymore. That's for sure.
Watch me go. Don't give them another inch, or else.
We just lost.
Two,
2,
three.
3. God, my team so did bad. My team did so bad.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
We just lost in comp, Sal. But I had 24 kills. I had the most kills anybody else had.
you're goated.
On God, I am.
Taylor's a bad influence, bro.
I'm not gonna be comfortable though. Literally though, you know what I was thinking about today? I have 2 friends and Riley.
Coming off the 3. Hey, 4 people with me.
You're my boyfriend, you have to.
You know, just not be with me.
Wah 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 wah.
Pick your hero or villain. I'm not
I'm
judging.
not judging. Pick your hero or villain. I'm not judging. The mission area unlocks. Mission area is yours to capture now.
Do you think Dante is hot?
No.
So why do you keep making those jokes?
Do you get DMC on your do you get DMC edits on your Instagram reels?
I get like autistic DMC memes.
I have so many on my For You page, and it is all. Did you see the text message I sent you
30
earlier?
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You did see it.
All girls posting on it.
Yeah, it is making me mad. That is the whole fan base. That is the entire fan base. It is just girls thirsting over Dante. Yes, it is. The new DMC anime, anyways.
The DMC fanbase is a bunch of autistic kids who just use the same Virgil meme over and over and over again.
4, 3,
Yeah, but then it became but then it became mainstream because it's on
all I need to do is
Netflix.
capture the
It's
mission
not
area.
mainstream and
Got it?
nobody's watched that.
It's on
I don't
Netflix.
think I could handle the
So,
pressure of the
the
dark force.
Castlevania anime is on Netflix.
Should I watch that? Is it good? Because I want to watch anime more. Like, seriously? Like, after watching DMC, I was like, anime, oh, like, it's not just this anime. Whenever I watch anime, I get this feeling, and I don't know why I just stopped watching it.
And why you're so closed off to it?
Yeah, because, like, it's so much different than, like, I love TV shows,
Area is yours.
but, like, you get to, like, it's like a whole world that they just get to choose whatever they want because it's all made up, and it's all drawn.
Freedom.
Yeah, I love that. And, like, if you watch a real-life show and it has the same things that anime has it's so corny. Only if it's an anime is it not corny, right?
Yeah. I am a big fan of animation as a medium. And like when you were so closed off to something because it was animated, it was such a pet peeve of mine.
I love it now. DMC made me realize.
You should watch Code Geass. I think you'd really, really like Code Geass, especially if you're a Death Note fan.
Really? I should finish Death Note actually first. I never watched that. I never watched it after L left because I only.
Damn, you were a fucking poser. Holy shit.
I'm a poser? No, come on. When they introduced the new characters, I was like, what the fuck is this show?
I loved it.
I never am able to watch.
I like Mellow too.
But I'm never able to watch shows when they introduce new characters because I'm just so attached to the previous characters.
You're just weird.
Yeah, I know. See, like, you know why I don't really watch movies? Because they're short and I get so attached to them, I hate that they're over.
You're so close-minded.
Yeah. Come here, asshole. Come here, asshole.
So, it's such a big deal. And for years and years and years, it's been, you know, just belittled as something below film. And I've thought of that as like so like demeaning to all the work and effort and love and care that gets put into animation. In my opinion, I think animation is so much harder and so much more impressive than film.
Nah.
Good animation, at least. When I see a really well animated movie, it captivates me visually more than any film has ever even got close.
What? What?
Hey, did you get what I mean? Hello?
Fuck you, Jeff the Shark. Fuck you, Jeff the fucking Shark. Jeff swallowed me when I was using my ultimate. He can do that?
Yeah.
But I was in the air!
Did you hear me?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I said, animation has always captivated me. Like, good animation has always captivated me visually more than any film, live-action film could ever even hope for. None of them have even gone close. Hello?
Yeah? Sorry, I'm locked in. I agree, none of them have gotten close. Yeah, but a good film is 10 times better than any good anime.
I'm not just saying anime, I'm saying animation as a whole.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a good animation can top like, okay, you know the whole thing where it's like a 9 out of, like, a hot blonde is better than a hot brunette, but a 10 out of 10 brunette is better than a 10 out of 10 blonde?
No, I disagree. Animation captivates me visually, maybe not characterization or story.
No, but if a movie is really good, then, like, that will be better than an animation that is really good.
I really again, I'm not saying everything. I'm saying the way that it captivates me visually.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but this is what I'm saying. If, like, a 9 out of 9 blonde and a 9 out of 9 brunette, the blonde is better. But a 10 out of 10 brunette and a 10 out of 10 blonde, the brunette is better. Because, do you get my reference?
Which one is animation and which one?
The brunette is the movies. Because let me explain. Because animation, I have seen so many animes and so many animations that make me feel like, holy shit, this is such a cool experience. But I have seen very few films like Oppenheimer. Did you ever see Oppenheimer?
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't.
You never saw it?
I was in Saudi Arabia.
Oppenheimer, that's one of the movies that come to mind where it's like sensually was done very well, and sensually, if you know, it just Oppenheimer. If a movie is better, you know what I'm saying.
No, I get what you mean, but it's that I'm saying the exact opposite. Is that when I see something that is animated, for example, a Ghibli film, there's this one movie I watched, Metropolis, that like really held me like nothing else has. And I'm saying when he top tier professional, like thoughtless, amazing animation. They all captivate me and keep me visually engaged way more than any movie has even gotten close to. And I've seen some great movies. Perfect example for this, right, is think of the difference visually, right, between Into the Spider-Verse and any live-action Spider-Man.
No. Live action of anything is going to be so much worse than the real one. Like, hands down.
Well, Into the Spider-Verse isn't the real one. Into the Spider-Verse has its own art style.
I mean, in the animation. Any live action of an animation is always going to be worse. I never ever like live actions ever.
What do you mean live action of an animation? They're completely like they're not inspired by like the live action isn't inspired by the animation. They're both just coming from the same source material, which is the comic book. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
You do what I'm saying?
I'm at 1%, baby.
I won't make the same mistakes again.
What were you? No, I was listening. I'm sorry. I just got locked in for a second.
Into the Spider-Verse, the movie about Miles Morales, right? And any of the live-action Spider-Man movies, I think the most visually interesting ones would be some of the, like, you know, film-wise, would be some of Sam Raimi films or maybe the more recent Tom Holland films. Regardless, right? You see those two mediums of animation, and animation is capable of doing so much more, not only to captivate you visually, but to align those visuals with what I hope to be a phenomenal soundtrack.
Okay.
And those two things combined, I think, if done properly, is so much better than any movie could ever hope.
Okay. But it's so much easier to animate a sensual scene than it is to... Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Do you know how much harder it is to voice act?
Okay, but I'm saying...
If I know you're going to talk about acting and how acting is a big deal, and yes, the majority of the time...
No, I'm saying the scenes. I'm saying the sensuality of the scenes. It is so much harder to create that with real life than it is with because animation, you can just draw whatever, you can create the scene how you will, but in order to create a good film, you have to learn camera work, and it's very hard to do camera work good, obviously, because it is so hard to find a movie that makes you feel sensually how anime does, because many animes is very sensual, but there's very few. Yes.
I think a lot of animation is just flop. I think a lot of it is just generic flop.
Okay, but I'm saying the best of the anime can't compare to the best of the films.
No, I'm saying the opposite. Jada, the pinnacle of each is so in, and I'm not saying in story. I'm not saying in anything else.
I'm saying sensually. I'm saying the scenes. I'm saying artistically, how they make the audience feel. The artistic.
I disagree.
You've never seen Oppenheimer. You've never seen a good sensual scene.
Grave of the Fireflies?
Yes, I've watched it.
I think so many scenes in not only Grave of the Fireflies, but I can name a couple of Ghibli films specifically where the amount of emotion that they make me feel.
I am saying it is easy to do that with animation. Because they can draw however they want, but for a real film, you have to have good actors, you have to have actors that portray it, you have to have good camera work, like seriously. Like in animation, everything is simple, but in a good movie, if you want to make it actually good, you have to put so much detail into every single step of the way.
Animation is simple?
Yes. If you want something cool, if you want something sensual, just draw it. You can draw whatever you can think of. But for animation, but for real life films, you have to put work into trying to create something that you haven't thought of before.
Do you know how much harder it is to animate than it is to create a 5-second scene in animation takes.
You're not listening to me though. I'm saying the best animation. I'm saying the best, most worked on animation can't compare to the best, most worked on film.
Okay, give me something other than Oppenheimer that I can.
I can't think of anything right now.
Have you watched Interstellar?
No. Yes, I watched part of it, but I never watched it. But that was a beautiful film. But that was made in like forever ago. I'm trying to think of good movies.
Well, I think Interstellar is a great example of.
Requiem of a Dream. The way that it was shot, perfectly encapsulates the theme. And it is so hard to do that for films. It is so hard because there's
just because it's harder doesn't mean that it's better though.
Whoa. What year is it where you come from?
What year is it anywhere? All that
because that's what it means. Like,
right. Gotta be present.
Snowboarding is cooler than skiing because snowboarding is harder than skiing.
You could put ice skates on your feet, and that would be harder than both of them. But
yeah. And then if someone told me I can ice skate down a mountain, I'd be like, holy shit, you're the coolest fucking person I've ever met, because that is very hard to do. So what is your argument here, mister?
Okay. Number one, harder doesn't equal better. And number two, animation is 10 times harder than any film. Because not only are you doing all the things that films are doing with the choreography. Think about any fight scene. It's not like they have to think not only about the scening, the way that it's shot, the way that the character are, the visuals, but also every little detail and every movement. They have to be conscious about it all. When you're recording actors, right? Like, yeah, you hope that the actors do the best, but for the most part, it's not you doing the heavy work. A lot of it is just reality taking place for you. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
You're proving my point right now, though, are you not?
How?
Yes, it is reality taking place for you, and the reality is what makes it hard, because it's so hard to create a escape from reality when it is literally reality. And it is so much easier to create an escape when it's just an escape, when it's just drawn, when it's someone's imagination. And it is so much harder to create that, to put that imagination in real life terms. It is so easy to take imaginative terms.
Have you ever tried to animate? Have you ever seen like a behind the scenes of any animation?
Every single person does that though. That's how animation works. It is hard, definitely, but the best anime cannot compare to the worst, to the best film.
And I'm saying visually captivating. That's what I've been talking about, is visually captivating. The way that it captures your attention and the way that it expresses those feelings visually. I have an example of this recently there's this movie called Better Man. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's like a biopic, but instead of like the actual person, they replaced it with a monkey. Have you seen that? Anyway, biggest thing that people are talking about with this film is how the color work in this film is so amazing and how it's like very visually captivating. But when I was watching that, I was like, holy shit, they have been so behind because animation has been working and dealing with color work in that way.
Do you know why? Do you know why animation has been doing that this whole time?
Why?
Because it's so much fucking easier. That's why. It is so much easier to create a visually encapsulating film when it's literally, you can think of anything you want and just draw it.
But doesn't that freedom of creative expression allow for it to be more, like, you can agree with me that because of that freedom, it is able to be more visually captivating, right? So the pinnacle of that freedom is not held down by the restraints of film.
And what I'm seeing is that it is so impressive when films leave those restraints because it is harder to leave those restraints. Whereas animation, it is freedom and it is so easy to do whatever you want.
Okay. We can agree, right? The strengths of animation are creative freedom, and the strength of film is realism, of being able to create a realistic and convincing scene.
No, I'm saying that...
Wait,
when...
hear me out. Just keep listening.
Okay.
Keep listening. When you see impressive animation, it's when they're able to combine that creative freedom and break through the restraints and allow it to feel realistic and grounded regardless.
What restraints does animation have?
Of any art, of anatomy, of understanding how the body is supposed to move, of understanding...
No, but what restraints does art have? Art has no restraints ever. Realism, real life, it is so hard to create something, but it is so easy.
It is so hard to create animation that is visually...
No, because there are so many animes that are visually captivating, but there are so few films that are.
Baby, I'm not saying visually captivating. I'm saying realistic, where it moves. Okay, example. Invincible has bad animation, even though it does good color work, character designs, all that stuff is great. The reason why it fails so hard and it hits so badly with me specifically is because of how stale and unrealistic and ungrounded, and how bad the anatomy looks sometimes, how bad the impact feels in a lot of fights too. All of that is what makes Invincible bad animation, even though it's good artwork. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, how is that relevant though?
So Invincible is an example of where, even though they have creative freedom, because they aren't skilled, because it is difficult to create that grounded sense of realism, that's where it falls flat. And that's where something like Devil May Cry, the way that we were talking about the fluidity and the way that we were talking about how the choreography of the fight scenes are so cool, is because they're able to take that creative idea and add a realistic and grounded way that makes our brains perceive it as, oh, holy shit, this looks so good. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So animation, yes, is ideally you are able to create whatever you want. But when you are able to combine that creative expression and then add that realistic, grounded animation where it feels like you're watching a real person, it doesn't feel like you're watching, a cartoon. It feels like you are watching a real person.
What anime does that? What anime gives you that feeling?
A generic idea that I could give you is just any Ghibli film. Any Ghibli film will make you feel like that. Will make you feel so captivated and so entranced in this world. You know what I mean? For example, Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, I think, shows excellent.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Way better than Dune did a few years ago. Dune is visually impressive.
Did you finish Dune?
Yeah, I did. But the way that
similarities, particularly when ensnared in their tentacles. Should you ever encounter one you cannot defeat, perhaps I could communicate with you.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3,
different
2,
world. And let me see when. This is a 1984 film, by the way. I'm talking, this shit came out at the same time as Star Wars. That is a better comparison. Star Wars versus Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. The original Star Wars.
This just proves my point.
What?
This really just proves my point. Animation did it first because it's easier for animation, and it took film so long to develop. No, but when did Interstellar come out? Interstellar came out in the 60s, didn't it? Or the 70s? Or the 80s? When was it? Interstellar was old. Interstellar's an old movie.
No, it came out in 2014.
No.
Yes.
What am I thinking of then?
You're thinking of a fucking Stanley fucking
My fate isn't sealed
Kubrick
yet.
film or whatever. Yeah, 2001: A Space Odyssey, 1968.
I think I'm thinking of Space Odyssey. Space Odyssey is the really beautiful film, isn't it?
Yeah, no, Space Odyssey is extremely impressive, but I think animation, because it is allowed so much more freedom, if that freedom is used in the right way, if they're able to take that freedom and that
Fate isn't sealed yet.
insane imagination and ground it in realistic, polished animation, it gives you a visually captivating experience better than any film could ever even hope to get. And all that film is trying to do is take that animation or take that imagination and put it into realism. And a lot of times it works. A lot of times it is just limited and it is just held down by the reality it's in. Again, let's forget about like Spider-Man films. Take any Marvel movie, and Marvel movies are beautiful. Marvel movies captivate you visually very, very well.
No, they don't. That's not what I'm talking about when I say good film.
Marvel movies, okay, I'm thinking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I know. Those aren't, good films, though.
Guardians of the Galaxy is an amazing film.
But it's not like a film, it's a movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy won, was like a fucking Oscar nominee, bro. 2014 original.
Oscars don't mean anything, dude.
It's an 8 out of 10, has a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. Whether you like it or not.
I love it, but I'm just saying that's not what I talk about when I say a really good film.
Well, I'm just comparing because, again, Into the Spider-Verse is also that same brand of Hollywood movie, you know what I mean?
Born from the chaos.
They're both the same brand of film. Let's take it a step further and say, what came out near that time? Fucking Infinity War. You watched that?
Yeah.
Infinity War was a very good movie visually. The way that it was shot was amazing. It was a master class of a film. And yes, a movie like Into the Spider-Verse will be infinitely more visually interesting, visually and captivating than any film could hope to. And Into the Spider-Verse is a perfect example of this because they were one of the first, especially in Western films, to take animation and not go for the realism and not try to dig that down and really focus on developing a unique and interesting art style. Did you know, actually, the movie was animated, or I think Miles himself, for the majority, half of the film, until he gets the Spider-Man suit, is animated in 12 frames a second, or 16 frames a second. Anyway, he's in a lower frame rate than the rest of the film. And that is to show his character progression. And the fact that animation can take something as arbitrary as this and use it as a point of character is fucking fantastic and just goes to show how far they can take it. And how, because it is just taken so unseriously. And again, this is mostly in the West, because over in Japan, they've been Studio Ghibli is a big deal there, and they really view animation as highly regarded as film. But that just goes to show if animation was to be as taken seriously as film, it can do so much more. Visually interesting.
I just don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. Animation is a very good medium for art. It has so many possibilities, but I am saying that movies have a certain kind of boundary that placed on that animation doesn't have.
And when they break through that boundary,
it is so much more impressive than anime. It is so much more impressive because I understand the hard work that it must have taken, the creative minds that it must have taken. Whereas animation, it's been done over and over again because they have the means to do so. They have the creative outlet to do so.
Good animation is extremely rare. You know that, right?
But that's not based on like lack of possibility. That's lack of want to create a good film. That's overcome by greed in order to just sell money you know what I mean?
Okay. Then what is prioritized in the Western market?
What?
What's prioritized in the Western market?
Movies.
Film or animation? Film, right?
What's your point?
Because it is prioritized, you can. If animation was prioritized and taken as seriously, and that's why I brought Into the Spider-Verse, because that is one of the first films. I mean, this is like 6 years ago that they really in the West started to take it seriously. That is one of the first animated films to be given a budget and to be given time and to be treated as properly as film is. And you see how far that goes. And you see how that standard brand is taken to the next degree because it is given that same treatment that film is.
Because it's easier. It's not easier
though. Here, that's my fucking point. That's why we have so much flop animation.
But you said if given them the means, then they can create a good.
And again, it's not just anime.
I know.
There's one movie that
I know. Can you respond to what I said, please?
What?
You said that if given the means, that animation can create a very good film.
Sure.
So it's easy for animation to create a good film if given
on
the
the
means.
same bar. If they are both set on the same bar, animation is so much more visually captivating than film can ever be. That's all I'm saying.
You're wrong, and I'm done arguing about this because you're wrong.
With powers like yours, I think, wow.
You say it's more impressive, but I'm not saying, like, we can argue about impressive.
It is more visually capsulating because it is easier for our eyes to understand. When we see animation, it is just that. It is a cartoon, and see, it can be impressive when we feel like it's real, but it is not real. When we see an animation that is when we see a film that makes us feel surreal, that the feeling is worth way more than the feeling that animation gives you.
Can you give me an example? Because it really just feels like you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. I really just can't think of anything.
Because I can give you a lot of films that, to me, like, I know for a fact encapsulated me visually very well, and I can give you films, like, from different periods of time. Like, okay.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
My fate isn't sealed yet.
Sure,
It's a very, very well done movie. The way that they filmed it was amazing. The actors were amazing. The scenes made you feel so good. And animation, it's not the same. Same thing with Requiem for a Dream. The ability to combine realism with surrealism in a real world setting, it is so much more impressive.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is very visually captivating, don't get me wrong. But let's look, what year did this come out? 2004? Okay, there's this anime that I watched that came released in 2001, the one that I was talking about earlier, Metropolis, right? And let me see, Metropolis, 2001 budget. 14 million USD. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Budget. 20 million USD. So it's comparable, right? These two films, you would say to me, right, time-wise and budget-wise, these two are very comparable, right?
Uh-huh.
If you see one, even what Metropolis is, you will understand. And Metropolis, again, is a underrated gem of animation. This is absolutely...
You're not understanding what I'm saying, Sal, at all.
You're saying that it's more impressive, right?
No, I'm saying it's more visually capsulating.
in captive. Okay, well, okay, you haven't seen Metropolis. You can't. It's just.
I've seen good animation. So.
Well, okay. Oh, baby. We're going. This is two comparable films in budget and time period, right?
I want to make the same mistakes again.
And I have watched both, and I enjoy both completely. Honestly, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, story-wise, was way more interesting. The acting was way better. Like sure, but visually alone, the visual alone, visually captivating. Metropolis is bounds above Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Give me two more examples, and you know, I'll compare and contrast.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Why?
I want to make the same mistakes again.
Watch this place carefully. I can.
Down to 30 seconds. There's no time to wait. Hit them with everything. A little help, please.
This is real firepower!
Spider infestation.
Final 10 seconds.
Tremble before fast!
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. The current score is 0-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world, but it does help.
The right heroes could make all the difference.